Test, test, test.
Good morning. My name is Teague Cotton, and our service leader today is Minister Lori Whittemore. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. This service is being live streamed and recorded. For those joining us on YouTube, we encourage you to have a candle or chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today. The theme for the month of October is Cultivating Compassion. We invite you to contemplate this theme with us today and carry it into your daily life when you leave here. Let us welcome the youngest members here today. Looks like we have a few new faces, exciting. May we recognize their noises and rustlings as our next generation participates in worship with us. We commit to be co-stewards of this land owned by the Wabanaki Confederation and to work toward a world that is just and thriving for the whole of the web of life. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phones. One little announcement, important. We are having our holiday fair, and we are going to have an organizational meeting right after church today, for everyone interested in working on the holiday fair. We need to get a date for the fair as well as a theme. So please come so that we can start to plan all of the details regarding the fair. Let's see here. Okay. There will be a social coffee hour in the parish hall after the service. Please join us for conversation and refreshments.
Please join me in the words for lighting our chalice.
This is our sacred promise, to gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. morning. Come into this circle of compassion and care. Bring your worry, bring your wounds, your longings and your hopes. Bring your whole selves, tattered and torn or lifted and light. With word and with song, we rekindle our connection to one another that mends what's been torn. With stillness and space to pause, we restore our strength together for the work that must be done. With grace and open arms, we welcome each other and we welcome those visiting and invite them to be a part of our community. The work of love, the work of peace, the work of repair, the work of healing, the work of remembering that we are not alone, that we are always connected. We join together this morning to do that work. So let us begin. And join me as you're willing and able, and we'll sing hymn number 346 together. Where we turn and greet our neighbors. You know, I do this every week and I forget. Every week, and I totally forget. Or what order things are in. Like, I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised. It happened.
morning. This is the time in our service when we invite people to share what is in their hearts, whether it is a great joy or a deep sorrow. It is not a time for announcements or political statements. If you wish, please come forward to light a candle, tell us your name if you'd like, and share your joy or sorrow with us if you choose to do so.
I also want to announce that
We are returning to the old way of doing it, so come from any direction you want to come from. Just make sure you stand up front to share your joy or sorrow and then light the candle and move on. We heard you. A lot of folks said they couldn't walk the whole distance, and we heard you, and so we've made that change.
Hi, I'm Donna, and when I was growing up, my sister and I lived next door to my 3 cousins on Sebago Lake, and we were very close. My sister died last December, and I just found out that my cousin Judy has only 6 months to live. She's filled with cancer, and she's going to be leaving her main home to go to Georgia to live with her daughter, which is good, but I will miss her very much.
I'm Catherine, and I was texting my friend. She's a friend of all of yours, Miss Edith, and she's feeling pretty good, and she's gone home, and praise the Lord.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Matt. I'm new here as of today. I'm new to the area even, and I'm very happy to be here, and I really enjoy this area, and it's a beautiful, wonderful day. So after I'm done here, I'm going to go explore a little more of the town. So.
Good morning, I'm Ellie. I lit 2 candles this morning. One is for prayers for my sister-in-law Louise, who was diagnosed with a heart tumor several weeks ago. It came on very, very quick. And miraculously, it is shrinking just as quick, and she's, coming around nicely, and it's a great that word, outcome is expected. But still, it seems like all of our prayers have made a difference for her. So I'm asking for prayers for Louise. And then just thinking about the sermon today, what are we addicted to? I'm not really sure where she's going with that, but being addicted to sugar and having a family addicted to sugar and being off that addiction right now, and others in my family being off that addiction right now. It's cigarettes was easy because we have to eat. But I'm just thinking about that, one day at a time we can all do it.
Hi, I'm Myra. I have a joy and a concern today. My concern is that while asking for prayers, continued prayers for my mother-in-law, who, as you know, is continuing with treatment for lung cancer. The tumor has shrunk, but unfortunately the area is filling up with water, so she had a procedure yesterday to withdraw that water from her lungs, and she continues with monthly immunotherapy. So prayers for her. She's 87 and Charlie's mom, and we love her and wish her all the best. My joy today is that my grandson, and yes, this is young, small Aiden that many of you remember, over 6 feet tall now, is here singing in the choir with us today.
Hi, I'm Deb, and 2 weeks ago I was here blatting my eyes out because I told you that my support animal, which is Fergus, suffered a gruesome injury, and the vet said that he would die a slow death. to put him down if I couldn't afford the $20,000 for surgery. The support I got from you guys when I was here 2 weeks ago gave me the courage to try. I am a Druid, and I have Druidic ways of natural remedies. I'm also spent 10 years in trauma medicine, so I'm familiar with how to treat these things. And using a Native American technique, I've been every day working with Fergus, who's half draft, so he's a big boy. And he doesn't like his face being worked on, so he would pick me up like a rag doll and toss me around the stall. So I learned to hit the cobwebs while I was going around and clean the stall. Amazingly, he is improving. The injury is healing on its own. He will have a little deformity, but it looks like at this point, with the treatments I've been doing, he's going to survive and stay my 1,800-pound emotional support animal for many years to come. Thank you for all your support.
Good morning. My name is Sarah. I stand with deep, deep concern for my nation, for my children's future, and for me. I live in fear all the time.
Hi, I'm Lori, and I have two joys today. One is my sister-in-law is here from Arizona, and we are working madly to try and get her back to New England. So during coffee hour, anybody who wants to, plug getting her back. And then my other joy, I said I wouldn't cry, but I can't help it. My daughter is 15 days away from 1 year clean and sober.
Hi, my name's Lori, and I lit a candle for Jane Goodall. She meant a lot for me when I was a child. She was the first woman that I saw in my life who had the strength to go and do what she loved. And that was a true lesson. And she's the last of the leaky ladies, so.
Hi, I'm Pat, and I just want to share a joy. I go to the food pantry every Friday morning to get what they can't keep over the weekend, and I bring it and put in our little food pantry. And they always give me plenty extra to put in through the week. I just want everyone to know how blessed we are to have them and how kind they are to us. And that's the Saco food pantry.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Patrick, and I'd like to celebrate that this month, and actually 10 days from now, I will be celebrating 37 years of sobriety. So I just want to let you know that, okay? One day at a time. Thank you.
I'm lighting 2 candles for Melissa Caminiti, who had 2 twin grandchildren on Friday, Luca and Charlotte.
And I am going to light one last candle for all of the joys and sorrows left unspoken. Let us take a moment to hold what we have heard in our hearts and minds.
Let's take a deep breath together, ground ourselves in our seats, feet on the floor, and open our hearts and open our minds to all that we've heard this morning. And let's reflect together that we, as a community, join ourselves together each Sunday, and sometimes during the week, actually, to care for one another, to share one another's joys, to support each other in our struggles, to welcome new folks, to welcome old folks. We do this with open hearts. We bring our true selves. We bring our hopes and fears, knowing that together we are stronger, together we are more joyful, together we can weather what's put in front of us. Hold our joys and our sorrows close. Lift our hearts in strength and gladness today and all days, and may it be so.
This morning's reading is from Pema Chodron. I don't even know if I'm saying her last name right. It's special to me because I'm pretty sure this is the 1-year anniversary of the first time that I was ever worship assistant. Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity.
Now please stand as you're able and willing and join me in singing hymn number 6. seated. Good morning, good people. It's so wonderful to look out and see all your faces. I'm delighted to share my time this morning with Joe Graffius, right? And Luna, that's right, Luna. He's representing Portland Treatment today, and we're going to be sharing our plate with that organization. In the past, we've tried to have people come at the beginning of the month so that they can introduce their organization. For those of you who don't know, we share our plate each month with an organization in the world that's doing great work, and we're going to share our plate this month with them. And while their organization is a for-profit organization, their ED shared with me that they are in the process of creating a fund that helps people get their unmet needs met while they're in recovery. Dental needs is an example for people who are trying to get back on their feet. That's really important. So simple but profound needs that help build a foundation for a new life. That's what we're sharing our plate with this month. And I wanted to spend a quick few moments framing our service, explaining the selection of recovery for a Share the Plate. This is the month, this is our theme, is Cultivating Compassion. And I want to explain why I shared the title. I got some feedback that it might sound a little flippant, but supporting a program that helps people build a framework for a new beginning feels like a natural fit. And as we've said in the reading, when we meet people through compassion, it's not through pity, it's not through condescension, it's through understanding our own brokenness and what we are suffering from. And I felt strongly that I don't want to approach this. I don't want to approach it. I don't want us to approach it by othering anyone. And so I wanted to think about this from the perspective of that we are all addicted to something. And as I mentioned in the Friday flyer, addiction is a coping tool to address emptiness that exists in our lives. We all have addictions, or if you need to use another phrase, we all have unhelpful coping tools, right? They exist on a spectrum like everything else, from slightly troublesome habits to something that is destructive in our lives. And they can move from slightly unhelpful to destructive. And when they get stuck in destructive, it tears our life apart. And we as a community have the opportunity to help. And there are several here in recovery. In fact, I want to say that I saw a 50-year chip last week. Someone shared yeah, I wasn't going to out you, but there you go. And we heard of a 37-year chip this morning. People have been doing this hard work for a long, long time. So when I suggested that we share the plate with this organization and this program, I want us to approach this from a place that we're all struggling. And we are delighted to connect with our struggle so that we can reach out and help others in the larger community. It is said that connection is the opposite of addiction. And we understand that in community here, that our wellness is caught up in everybody else's wellness. And our wellness is our spiritual growth. And our spiritual growth is that connection. It's the antidote for many things. Remember that when you are feeling down, connecting to others is the way out of that. Remember that when you are feeling in a tough spot, there are other folks who are feeling that way too. And helping lift them up is a way to connect with them. And I hate to say it's self-serving, but in many ways it is helping others. In fact, that's why folks in recovery are often coached to serve others. When you're supporting someone else, you are connecting, and that is the healing thing. So while I often try to get to 3 points in a service, people who know me know that, I'm going to be sharing my talk time today, so I'm only going to give you 2 points today. So the title of the service is a reminder that cultivating compassion means connecting with our own brokenness in service to ourselves and in service to others. Connecting means cultivating compassion. That's one. And connection, therefore, is the antidote and solve of many things. So cultivating compassion is connection, and connection is the antidote. We come to the table here for that connection to serve others. And we are delighted to have folks from the community who are doing this great work, and we're delighted to be able to help them because we can't do all the work, obviously. So today, Joe's with us, and he is the alumni coordinator, so therefore he's promoting that connection on an ongoing basis. And I'm excited to hear about the community. I'm excited to hear what they're doing. Maybe even hear a little bit more about Luna, because I think Joe's a dog trainer. And we didn't really think this out. You're welcome to come up here, or you can use that one. So this is Joe Graffius, and welcome.
It's a long press. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Right into it, though. You got to speak.
Cool. Good to see everybody. Thank you for having us. My name's Joe Graffius. I'm a recovery coach. I work at Portland Treatment. That's correct. And what we kind of have going on, and what we're kind of wanting to introduce to the community, is this is a new service to the area. And the service that we're providing specifically is a transitional type part of the treatment program, where it's called PHP or IOP. It stands for partially hospitalization or intensive outpatient. And so that essentially means these are people that have already kind of are on board with recovery, and they're maybe coming out of incarceration, or maybe coming out of a detox program or another type of treatment, maybe a residential program. And the service that we're providing is basically a safe place for people to come and learn about who they really are inside. We do have lots of different types of fancy acronyms and names of people with all kinds of letters behind their names and different things. But really what we're doing is we're just providing a space for people to come and learn who they really are. And I think what also sets us apart is that we're not owned by some big pharmaceutical corporation or a religious organization or anything. We're owned and operated by people that are in long-term recovery. And I think that is what makes a big difference in the program that we're doing, because the people that are in the program I'm just walking alongside of them. They're doing the same things that I'm doing. I'm implementing and sharing the recovery skills and principles that I've applied in my own life. I'm just applying these to my new friends that I get to go basically just hang out with throughout the week. It's interesting. I'll just tell you a little bit more about myself to kind of preface, so you guys understand what addiction can kind of look like. So I'm a good Maine kid. I was born in Machiasport, Maine. I grew up in Bar Harbor. My mom's a nurse practitioner, and my dad's a boat builder. My parents kind of got involved in Christian summer camp ministries, and my dad would help build several different summer camps all over the state of Maine. So I had a pretty cool childhood growing up at all these different cool summer camps. And also, we had lived in Belfast for a while, and they worked at a ministry called the Neighborhood House, where worked with basically after-school kids, camp type stuff. And so my whole childhood was really this awesome experiences of bike rides and hikes and camps, and this really beautiful picture of, just like perfect Maine summers. Really, it's kind of my memories of stuff growing up in Maine. My family's life kind of took a detour in the year '99. I came home from school, and my dad said, family meeting, and they said, we're moving to Alaska. And it was a really, I was just a kid. I didn't know what I was getting into. But it was really an amazing experience. But moving up to Alaska, it's a whole different type of world. And I was really thankful. One of the most beautiful things was I was just fully accepted into the Alaska Native culture and indigenous belief systems, specifically the Dena'ina clan. I was an honorary member. And this different, let's put it this way, my kind of closed-minded world, like spiritual worldview was exploded when I was kind of immersed in God's creation in Alaska, the mountains and the glaciers and the animals, and ultimately to see where people fit into that was ultimately kind of one thing that really filled my heart. I just kind of wanted to share that. But also there's my own story. I got caught up as a young person in this other addiction called commercial fishing, or fishing, if anybody caught that bug yet. Don't wish that on your worst enemies, okay? And that lifestyle is really common, just kind of open drug use. And it became really normal for people to be using, stimulants, cocaine, methamphetamines, just to stay up for long periods of time. So like I said, I was a good kid. I knew right from wrong, but kind of just immersed into a different type of culture where things it didn't really add up to what it kind of meant to be. And obviously that lifestyle, what I was really clear, in one of the jokes they say it's a young man's game. It's very real that it's not a sustainable lifestyle of, excess, hard work, play hard, really kind of a lifestyle that's just not sustainable. So, through that, I drug my addiction probably about 10 years. And by the time I got done, I was fully addicted to methamphetamine. I was an IV drug user, and also heroin. On top of that, I was also a really bad alcoholic. I would drink myself to sleep most nights that I was in port. So yeah, I kind of got to this really just destructive place in my life. I realized that, every relationship that I had kind of been destroyed. And actually, I was in a prison cell in Wasilla, Alaska in March 15th, 2018. I had a come to Jesus moment that just changed my life. And in that prison cell that day, I kind of just made this prayer. I said, God, if you're real, I kind of knew he was real. My interpretation of it, I knew it was real. I said, I need a miracle. And I said, if you show up, I'll serve you the rest of my life. And like I said, that's kind of the first day of the new Joe that you see here in front of you today. So I'm pushing almost 7 years in long-term recovery. And it's a beautiful journey. It is something that I did never expect that it would be such a colorful experience and totally non-linear in any way and more spiritual and real than anything else I had ever experienced in my life. It was kind of easy at the beginning to just stop using drugs, right? But then once you kind of have removed those coping mechanisms that you're used to, now all of a sudden you have to deal with life. And life has all types of emotions and different things. And kind of where I was at, it was really easy being in prison, and I was looking at 10 years on it was an accessory to murder charge. It was a drug deal that gone bad. So I had a lot of time to sit there and think about what I wanted to do with my life in the confines of prison. So the first 18 months of my recovery was, like I said, it was relatively easy because I was in prison, but I was riding this wave of just like joy and peace and compassion. I'm being like downloaded all this like beautiful information. Some people talk really bad about their time in prison, and I mean, there was some times I had to fight for my life, but there was also times where it was like, it's the most beautiful worship service you've ever seen in your life. Every single person in there is just dependent, like waiting for a miracle. And there's this level of like hunger that just does not exist on the street. Like I said, that was kind of my foundation, this place of looking like I'm spending the rest of my life in prison. But what actually happened, my recovery being on full display, everybody that knew me, including the judges, my lawyers, the probation officers, everybody is saying, hey, give Joe a chance. He's just like a new creation. And before I knew it, I was in a residential program called Adult and Teen Challenge, which is brand new up in Alaska. I was the second person to graduate from the program in Wasilla. Big shout out to them. They're an awesome program. Definitely, I was able to use that space to figure out who I was and to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And what I found there was I wanted to be involved in addiction recovery. Had a lot of time for prayer and meditation in that space, and it was pretty clearly impressed and stamped on my heart and mind that I'm supposed to be an ambassador of hope for the recovery community. And I didn't really know what I was supposed to do other than just that, and that's what I've done. Everywhere that I've been since I graduated Adult and Teen Challenge, I've been working in recovery fields. So I've worked in another beautiful program, the Dream Center out of LA. Beautiful program, working with a lot of unhoused people, like before people even ever think about going to treatment or detox, like front lines stuff. Going from there, I've worked in inpatient, outpatient, at-home programs, different programs all over the country, from Hawaii to California to Maine to Florida. And so a couple years ago, I was working here in Biddeford at a Suboxone clinic, Savita Health, and I was riding my bike around, and there was this new program, Portland Treatment, that was opening up. I usually ride my bike from Portland to up here, so I spend a lot of time riding my bike. If you guys see me around, try not to run me over. Thank you. I met Nate Roberts, who's the executive director, and we kind of clicked because he was also a Teen Challenge graduate. And he kind of just was like, hey, we're doing this brand new program here in Biddeford. We're doing it because we realized that Biddeford, even though it's right next to Saco, which is one of the most beautiful towns in Maine, Biddeford is one of the most directly impacted places in Maine for addiction recovery. Lack of resources, one of the worst hit places. We talk about hard hit places, Sanford, also really hard hit. Lewiston, also taking a really difficult hit. But if you look at kind of the rural demographics of Maine throughout the opioid crisis, it was really strategically targeted. And so fast forward to where we are today, we're kind of fighting a different battle. It's not just alcohol. Alcoholism is beautifully trending down, but still numbers in Maine look like 35% of Mainers are dealing with some type of addiction. When you get down to people that are actually seeking treatment, you're more in like the 8% range. And so this is a pretty significant number. But one of the real the changes that we've seen over the years is this fentanyl epidemic. And the reason that it's so incredibly terrible is just that the overdose rate is so much more. Let's say if somebody can be an alcoholic for years and years and years, doing terrible damage to their bodies, but ultimately the life expectancy of a lot of the people struggling with specifically fentanyl addiction, on my heart is the most critical people group that we can serve right now. And that is because, let's put it this way, I went to 400 celebrations of life last year. 400. This is just for the state of Maine. That number's trending down, thankfully, but again, that's just I don't accept that as an acceptable number. And not to be discouraged to anybody, because if you've noticed, if you just wait for the government or somebody to come fix this problem, they're not coming. It's our job, and I'm including you guys in this. So that, to me, that makes me incredibly encouraged, because everywhere I go, I see people like you that are going, hey, how can I help? What can I do? Like, I have a grandchild, I have a son, a daughter, myself, and other people. We're all affected by this. Well, people are just going, how can I help? What can I do? So, long story short, what you can do to help, it's really not even about the money. It's about relationships. Okay? Yes, it does take money to fund certain things, and what you were saying today about this funds that we're looking for specifically, out of our own pockets, we've just been filling people's needs, that they may need a new pair of sneakers, or they need whatever the need that they may have. We've kind of just been filling in. And that's great, but we didn't want to just, one, burn ourselves out, but also we wanted to give opportunities to everybody in the community to also kind of jump in at a very reasonable place. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a bunch of zeros, but I really do want to have a relationship with you guys where when needs come up within the community, like food bank, I would love to do the stuff with like clothing closets. We would love to, there's all these other different needs that people have specifically. We have a lot of our programmers that are living in sober living. Sober living is a level expert place to live. Does anybody in here read the Bible? If you read the book of Acts, book of Acts is talking about people living together, okay, in unity. If you want to see an only place that you see this outside of communes that don't always work out well, look at these sober houses. These are a place where people are sharing one another's burden. They're struggling to like transform their lives. And if you want to know of an area that you can help, it's these sober homes. In and of that, our program as well, it is one piece in the puzzle of the bigger picture of what recovery looks like in Maine. There are hundreds of different types of treatment modalities, and we support them all. A lot of our guys are kind of 12-step based as a core foundation, but it's really ultimately within our program only one small reference point of the bigger type of program that we run. Within our program, we kind of focus on like 8 dimensions of wellness that all kind of interconnectedly help collectively person to be a well-rounded whole individual. So that's kind of what our program looks like. We're located just right down in Biddeford, if you kind of go and past Moody's, Digital Drive, out kind of that way. It's a beautiful little spot, but we're running at almost full capacity with about 30 or so clients. And our program's about 8 weeks long, and we've been open for a little over a year now, so we've seen about 150 people graduate from the program so far. And so I'm the alumni coordinator, so I get to see a lot of people after they've come and gone. We're not just like kind of booting people out after a 28-day program. We're very much connected. We have weekly meetings every Wednesday at 7. If anybody wants to come and join, just say hello, hop in, you're more than welcome. That part of my job is really rewarding because, like I said, I've worked in lots of other different fields where some of the frontline stuff feels really discouraging. This part, I get to see people like reunited with their families and the new jobs, and they're driving in a new pickup truck with a new dog or something, and I'm just like my heart's full when I get to see that restoration part. These people winning, overcoming addiction, and being victorious in this lifestyle, like in this world, like today. It's a beautiful thing to see. It keeps me encouraged. And like I said, I get to encourage other people because I know sometimes what we see looks bleak. I live in Portland, so every time I drive by beautiful Deering Oaks Park, my heart breaks. That I love these people to death, but they're where they're at in life, they just don't see the value in their own lives. And so it's like, how do we communicate that to them? And I'll answer my own question in that. And it's kind of right on point with what you guys are doing here. It's just being compassionate. Have an open heart of compassion. Tear down whatever walls you may have, a stigma you might have about people that you might think are just sick, or however the weird stigmas around people with addiction. It's hard, but I really encourage you to say hello. You don't necessarily have to give somebody money to like bless them. It's just relationship is what really blesses people. And when somebody knows that they're loved and they're seen, like that plants this little seed of hope in their heart that goes, maybe I don't want to kill myself anymore. And that's all I really have to say about what we have going on. I do want to open up any questions, comments, concerns, and in the community. We'd love to be able, not only you guys support us, we'd love to be able to support you guys too. We have a pretty good alumni group that we'd love to kind of just partner with, doing different types of projects. We're open to pretty much anything and everything. So again, really thankful to be here, really glad to be able to get plugged in with another church in the community. And I'm really thankful to see what you guys are doing here, really within you. Just want to bless you guys' church. Like I said, I go to lots of different churches, different denominations, and I'm really thankful to see the inclusivity that you guys provide here. I think that's a breath of fresh air. So thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I'd just like to give an opportunity if anybody has any questions, comments, affected loved ones, kids, grandchildren you want us to talk to, speak life into their situation, we'd love to do that. Please just reach out to me. I think we have cards for Brian was supposed to be here. I'm gonna give him a hard time. He was supposed to be here this morning, so he kind of left me hanging. But if you call, he's probably going to be the one who answers. Brian Kolosky, he's excellent. He's a guy in long-term recovery as well, but he's really doing a good job of connecting people with the treatment that they need. So regardless if they need to go to Portland treatment, we'll plug them in with where they need to go within wherever they're at on their own recovery journey. Cool. So thank you so much. Appreciate you.
So we're saving questions for coffee hour where there's always cookies. So yeah, definitely. And you made a lot of great offers, and I don't think you know what you did. So we're sharing the plate, but we're starting a relationship. And you said you have people who might be willing to do service projects. Be careful what you offer, I'm just saying. Thank you. And, it's delightful to hear about your journey and your spiritual journey, because I feel like it's a shared journey with a lot of folks here. Certainly both recovery, but also you talk about our inclusivity. For folks visiting, we don't require that you believe anything to be here. We just require you come and bring your full selves. And I think that's really the beauty of our community. So, and here is the transition. When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts, our spirits, our time, our energy, our talents, our skills to support the work of this church and support the larger community. We also bring the gift of our generosity, giving what we have so the work can continue here. And half of our offering is shared this month with Portland Treatment's discretionary fund. If you're watching from home, donations may be made through the Give button at the top of our webpage, or you can send a check to UU Church Saco Biddeford at 60 School Street in Saco, Maine. This morning's offering will now be received. me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. And please join me in singing There Is More Love Somewhere. Seated. As our time together ends, may we remain mindful that the greatest source of compassion is knowing the tenderness and perhaps even the brokenness of our own hearts. Remember, you are always welcomed in the fullness of yourself in this place, and may you leave today in peace and return again in joy. Our service is now concluded. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please join us for cookies and coffee in the parish hall to meet Joe. And I forgot an announcement early on. I just want to make it on Saturday. There's going to be some time at Deb Lipsky's house in her conservation land. All are welcome. She wanted me to tell you bathrooms are primitive, so be prepared. Bring your lunch and a chair. Thank you.